Hello, everyone, and welcome to Social Chats with Heather and Catherine. My name is Heather, and this is episode number 8. Today, we have a very talented young lady joining us from her own studio, and that is Blair Kaplan from Blair Kaplan Communications. And Blair is known for her badass communications. So we're really looking forward to getting all types of juicy information to share with you. But before we get started, I wanted to let you know how we're actually shooting this, because some of you might be curious. This is live Facebook television, although we're not shooting directly live from Facebook. And especially right now, well, there's been so many bugs with the Facebook Live. We're using BeLive TV. So if you look right up there, you'll see BeLive TV. And we have been using BeLive TV for about 2 months now to shoot many different types of show. And what's really exciting is next week, BeLive TV is actually going to, right now we're not paying to use BeLive TV, but next week, they're going to introduce options where our logo will show up and we can have different types of banners. And when people like you who are watching right now live want to ask questions, your questions will also start to appear directly on the screen so everyone can see what the questions are that are being asked. So that's all coming next week with BeLive TV. And I'm quite sure that Catherine and I will be going over it and practicing, getting all the bugs out. So when you want to try it, it won't be all buggy for you. But what does this live TV actually mean? Well, we every week have been having incredible guests come to the show and share their valuable knowledge with all of the people that are following us. And what this means is you are able to ask your questions to our speakers directly during the show. So what do? All you have to do is write your questions in the comments section below, and then I will see them appear in the news feed. And Sean, is the video or a link down? I'm not quite sure what that means, Sean. So right now we are shooting live on our Facebook business page, and you're welcome to just try to join in. If you have questions, we want you to ask your questions directly. And you might be actually watching the replay. And you're still welcome to ask your questions in the replay, because we tend to get the most amount of views on our live videos well after the videos are over with. So this is live on Facebook. We're using BeLive TV to shoot today. It has been an incredible network, and we have a wonderful young lady in the studio with us today. And I'm inviting Catherine in, and you're going to see there, she is there. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Blair. So I'm going to start with a quick bio to introduce Blair. So Blair's company, blairkaplan.ca, it's a communication company, and she's bringing brands and businesses to life by sharing their story in a really, really unique and interesting way. She's been working with major brands in the fashion, the beauty, the entertainment industry, the hospitality industry. And she has a rockin' 23,000 plus followers on Instagram. How does that happen? It is crazy. So welcome, Blair. This is my crowd's cheering. Hi, Blair.
She's in the studio.
Hello.
It's great to have you. I'm so happy. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, perfect. And I love the background. It's pretty rad. It's like if you're rocking out in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's actually my fiance, like way back when, was sponsored by Rip Curls, so it's his like prized possession. So I thought I would use it as my backdrop.
Excellent. Amazing.
Yeah.
So 3 topics we're going to cover today. First of all, we're going to maybe go over how you got started with Instagram and what you think the keys to your crazy success is. And then we'll move on to recommendations for small businesses, startups, or even existing kind of bigger brands. And then we'll look at where you think the future of all this is heading. Social media marketing has evolved, and marketing in general so much. And now it's pretty much a part of everyone's marketing mix, but we like to have your thoughts on where this is all heading. So I will pass the screen back to Heather for question number 1, and we'll keep at it.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Super. Welcome, Blair. Really, really nice to have you joining us on our show today.
Hi.
Blair.
Well, I'm excited that I'm a guest. And fun fact, it's episode 8, and 8's my lucky number.
Oh, it's a sign.
It was meant to be. So, Blair, you're doing phenomenal using
It was meant to be.
And your Instagram is Blair from Blairland. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
So
correct.
If people want to hop onto Instagram and have a look at Blair's account, it's Blair from Blairland. So how did you get started? And what do you think attributes to your amazing success that you're having on Instagram?
Well, so I went back to, I wanted to be prepared for this chat. And so I dug back into my Instagram archives, and it just so happened that the end of April in 2012 is when I got Instagram. And my very first post was of a TELUS shopping bag. So I remember exactly what happened. I was at Coachella down in California with my BlackBerry, and it melted because it was so hot. And so when I got back, I got a new phone and I got an iPhone. And because at that time, or even like to this day, like taking pictures on a BlackBerry is very different than taking pictures on an iPhone. So one of the first things I did was, so I got started because I love taking pictures. I'm not a photographer, but I have a passion for it. Growing up, I would take pictures with my grandfather and develop black and white images in his dark room. And I've always just really enjoyed taking pictures. So when this platform came out and I was finally able to use it, I was super pumped. So that's how I got started in it. And I think I don't really have an answer to why I'm so successful at it, but I think what I do is take pictures of things that I find interesting and share them with my audience. I let people into what my eyes are seeing and explaining what my perception is of that moment captured in time.
Perfect. Okay. Catherine, you have another question for Blair there.
All right. So what would you recommend for businesses, like to add Instagram to their business mix? And people ask question about, hashtags and the quality of the images and what they should post and all that. So what would be your recommendations kind of overall?
Yeah, I think it's important. Facebook page. Set up your Instagram account as a business account so you can track statistics and analytics, because that's important to see where your audience is and what's working and what's not. So that would be the first thing. If you're a business with a Facebook page, set up your Instagram account as a business account, because they have to be linked interchangeably. And also have a bit of a strategy. It doesn't need to be really in depth if you don't know how to do that, but come up with some sort of plan. So the same type of content is posted every Monday and every Tuesday. And get into a rhythm of posting similar themes each week and each day. I also think it's really important to use popular hashtags with also your own fun, unique hashtags. So Tuesday's Travel Tuesday. Maybe make posts that have to do with Travel Tuesday. If you're in British Columbia, hashtag Explore BC is really popular. Hashtag Get Outside, whatever it may be at that time of year. But find those popular hashtags using the search function on Instagram, and then also throw in your own. Who cares if people are using a specific hashtag or not if you're mixing it up with popular ones? But this, I think one of the biggest things with Instagram is you have to be fun and creative. People like to be edutained. They want to be educated, but they want to laugh. They want to be entertained. Yeah. So get creative. Try editing your picture using the in-app filters or downloading other applications. I absolutely love Camera Plus. It costs, I think, $3.99 or $1.99. I can't remember, but it wasn't free. But I think it really does take my pictures to that next level. I also love Prisma. Like, get creative. I like stitching one picture together and mirroring it and making it funky. It doesn't need to be just a simple picture. You can add cool filters and edit it and make it a lot more fun. And I think that's something that people are really interested in. But yeah, I think it's just about being fun and creative and yourself. too seriously with Instagram.
Blair, about how much time do you spend on Instagram? First of all, how many posts do you make? And then how do you communicate with the people that are liking or commenting on your Instagram?
Right. So that's actually a good point. It's important to engage. That's something I neglected to mention by accident. But it's important to not just post, but to also be liking other people's posts, following other people, leaving comments, spending time engaging with new and potential followers. And how much time, for my own, it's very different than what I do with my clients. I recommend for my clients about 5 posts a week minimum. I don't think you need to overdo it. But I also suggest utilizing the Instagram Stories feature. It allows you to basically have your own reality show, take people at a specific event or whatnot. Use that feature. So curate a really awesome image on your Instagram and direct people to your stories so they can see behind the scenes on what's actually going on. So, if I'm doing that, that takes a lot longer than 1 post a day. So I can't really, because I'm fairly organized and I kind of live and breathe social media, specifically Instagram, I don't think I can give you how long I spend on it because I manage at any given time 7 to 10 brands on top of my own. So, but I do a lot of planning ahead of what the content is going to be. And then I find that right image or collect that right image or go out into nature and take my clients' products and take that right image or video. But the more time you have to spend on it, the better quality images you have and the more images and the more videos that you will have.
You know what I really liked about what you just said there is you actually plan what you're doing. You just don't, I'm sure there comes times where you are spontaneous. Oh my gosh, that's a great shot. And that would be great on Instagram. But overall, you have a strategic plan behind what you're doing because this is business.
That's correct. Yes. So for a client, I have a strategy. I have an overall strategy and I look at what the story is that we're going to tell that week. And I create those posts based on that strategy. So for example, one of my clients, their mascot is a big rubber duck. So every Friday we post about his adventures. Is he camping? Is he in Vancouver? Is the rubber duck at Porto Cove? What's he doing this week? Wait till you see what he's doing this week. I took him with me down to Wreck Beach this weekend. So just kidding. It's PG. But anyways, but yeah, I think it's about being fun and creative, but also planning. So you want this type of post. So maybe you want to do a travel post on Tuesday, but you don't have anything specific planned, but that weekend you're going somewhere super awesome. So in the back of your mind while you're living here to take a picture of that really cool view at the top of a hike, the really awesome rainbow coming off of the waterfall or whatever it may be that you see. And you got to have that mindset of everything that you're doing is Instagrammable. And you should tailor that to how can I use this to promote my business and the lifestyle that I'm trying to sell.
True enough. And when you were talking about hashtags and the importance of hashtags, I kind of have a couple of questions that have popped up for us. That is, how many hashtags should a person use in Instagram? Because we don't use a lot of them on our Facebook business pages, maybe 1 or 2. Right. But Instagram's a different story. And second, when Catherine was doing some hashtag searching, the simplest hashtag sometimes is associated with something that's very negative. Our 2 rules, no swearing and no pornography. So that's where a particular hashtag had gone when we were doing research on it. Can you speak to that for us?
And so the limit of hashtags you can use on Instagram is 30. And I think it depends on how you want to use them. So if you're using them throughout your sentence, like a punctuation per se, if you're asking a question at the end of your question, you type a question mark. So if you're like, I can't wait to be on a live hashtag social media chat, question mark. If you want to use them throughout your conversation, I don't recommend using more than 1 or 2 because it's hard on the eyes. If you want to put them at the end of what your caption is or your comment is, I'd say you can, I say a few looks really good, but if you want to use a chunk, I'd say 3 or more, I would divvy it out either by spacing it. So after your comment in a space, or put that block of hashtags in a different comment because it'll still categorize your post, if that helps. Did that answer your first question, I think?
Yeah, super. Good.
Awesome. And then the second one, hashtags, right. So some of my clients, I suggest they claim a hashtag. So maybe they have a saying or a word that's theirs. Well, immediately the first thing we do is we look up that hashtag on all the social media networks to see if anyone is using it and if it's associated with anything that's not appropriate. If not, we start using it. Also, sometimes you don't realize, like sometimes you're using a hashtag all the time and it's not associated with anything. Like even if you want to use a hashtag once in a while and you're not sure, you think it could have a negative connotation or be associated with something like swearing or pornography, search before you use it. Or if by accident you use it and then you find out it's associated with something you don't want to be Instagram. You can't edit it on Twitter. But if it's Instagram, go in and edit it. It's okay. You can delete it. But research is key. And you might be using something for 2 years and all of a sudden someone somewhere else starts using this hashtag and bad things pop up. Stop using it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like, I mean, it's social media. It's like a wildfire. It's really, sometimes you just can't control what happens.
This is true.
Yeah.
Catherine, do you have any questions?
Well, you mentioned Instagram stories, and I love Instagram stories, but sometimes I found some of our clients don't understand the value to them because they go away after 24 hours. And I always say, oh, it's great engagement. And so what would be your intake for Instagram stories for businesses?
So when I mentioned earlier is that Facebook, like your Facebook feed, is more like a curated, it should be curated. It shouldn't be a bunch of images from one day. It should be, maybe you're doing something really neat and you take that one really awesome image, you do some editing, you put it up of like your hike. But maybe your story is you guys pulling up to the trailhead and packing your bags, and Cindy over there is eating some nuts, and then your story of your hike. So I think about having this little strategy storyboarded. It doesn't have to be storyboarded, but planned out. It's like, hey guys, we're doing team building today. We're going on a hike. We want to post at least, 5 or 6 pictures to our story. And then what we'll do is we'll take a really cool picture at the top of the team and in the comments send people to go look at our story. And what it does, it allows you to post a lot more from your specific experience and let people really get to know you, which is what you want to do because people do business with people they like, know, and trust. So I think, and you can track the statistics. If you're set up as a business account, you can track the statistics also. So you can see if you tag something, and sometimes if you tag something specific or you use a specific location, they pull you into a bigger story and more people see it. And you can see that 200 people saw that one post, 100 people saw that other. And if you do a specific story with 6 posts, when you're done that story, you can save it into a video format.
Excellent.
How do you do that? Do you save your story to a video format? Like people would see all the different clips, say they have 5 clips for their story, and then they would put them all together into a video, say?
Yeah. So like each video, yeah, exactly. That's it. So as long as it's still in your story, you can't select what you save. But like if I right now have 3 different posts to my story, I go in and save my story. It's a video of what the story is. So you can still keep it for later.
Perfect. This is great. Yeah. We'll have to do a social blast tutorial just on that so that people. So this actually helps because if the story is only 24 hours, well, it doesn't matter if you've saved it, you can repurpose it. So you don't lose your
content. Exactly. Sometimes you can. And that's what's really great about it is throw it aside. Maybe you repurpose it later to use on other social media networks. Maybe you throw some music behind there. There's lots that you can do.
Excellent.
That's great. We want to remind everyone that Blair is here for us right now to take any of your questions. So if you have something that you want to know about Instagram or communications overall, Blair would love it if you just write your questions down below. And once again, if you're watching the replay, we do come back and answer questions as well. Super. Catherine, did you have any other questions?
Well, yeah, I guess our last question is where do you think this whole social media marketing thing is going? Where do you think the future is going with this? Like we had even like last year, everyone was about Snapchat and it was the big thing. And then Instagram kind of rolled in with stories that took a bit over Snapchat and so on. So what's your take on where things are going and where should business position themselves if they're thinking in the future a bit?
So with Instagram, I don't think it's going anywhere. Like I'm pretty sure Instagram's here to stay. So in regards to Instagram, or actually any social media network, videos where you want to be, like what you guys are doing with your live chats. People watch videos with pictures. People usually kind of scroll through them. Woo! People scroll through pictures, but people stop and watch videos. Maybe it's for 10 seconds. Maybe it's the whole one if you have great content. But I think social media marketing is moving towards videos, especially as people's attention span like quickly depleting their ability to concentrate. Little snippets, quick 15-second videos, cool 10-minute videos, tutorials, whatever it may be. I think that's where everything is going. And also, I mean, specifically to Instagram, and I don't know if these are predictions, but I think they're more wishes. But if anyone in the Instagram world, and a couple things is one of them is going to be, you're probably soon, and this is just from doing a bit of research, but not from Instagram. So this is not a fact, but I do think eventually you're going to be able to type comments in Instagram and have hyperlinks besides just hashtags. So links, like right now, if you type, www.blairkaplan.ca, it's just words. It's not linked to my website, but I can't see why in the future, maybe in the near future, you can't do that. Why can't you have a comment? Also, I think eventually we should be able to schedule posts for Instagram. I know there's secondary applications, but they're not favored by Instagram. And I don't understand why they don't have it, even if they have it as a paid source. I would pay Instagram to allow me to schedule posts, because I'm social media that on a weekend, if I want to disconnect and go off the grid for a couple days, if I can schedule some posts into Instagram. I mean, take my money, Instagram. Here you go. And then I think one of the biggest trends that's already happening, and I think it's not going anywhere, is user-generated content. And that goes for all platforms. I think there's many ways you can source this content, but I think that's a way of the future, and it's a great thing to build into your content strategy. And just always remember to ask permission if you're going to be sharing other people's content.
So for people who are not sure, what's user-generated content?
So user-generated content is what it is the name. It's content generated by a user. So maybe keep it simple. Social media really likes a post that Blair from Blairland, took out in Pemberton. And they might comment, say, Blair, we really love your post. Do you mind if we share it to our network? So what it is, and then I say, yeah, for sure. And then what happens is you guys share my post. You mentioned somehow in the post of the picture came from Blair, for other people create.
Oh, repurposing other people's content.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I see that Janet Pashley is joining us. Hi, Janet. Nice to have you here. The beautiful Janet Pashley from Whistler. Janet has asked you, Blair, do you have a personal account or is it a business account? And maybe you could share what the difference is. Thank you, Janet, for the question.
Right. So me personally, I only have one account. It's a business account. I am my business, and I think it's completely situational. Maybe you're an eye doctor, you're an optometrist, and you have your own account, but your practice has a business account. So I think it's purely situational. It just depends, entrepreneur or whatever it may be. And I personally would only want to have one account unless your business is something completely different than your personal life. If your core values and your tone is very different for your business and you want to share different parts of your personal life, separate the two.
That's because it's a lot of work, isn't it, Blair?
It is a lot of work because it's not just posting a picture. It's taking a picture, doing some editing, coming up with the right caption, remembering to post it at a specific time, and then doing it all over again. Running all over again, right? So
behind it. Oh, Good. I'm just going to have a peek here at the questions. We got Yay Blair. Welcome to the show.
Is that for my mom?
Cheyenne Mackenzie.
Oh no. Hi, Cheyenne.
Great. Okay. Catherine, was there anything else that we wanted to ask Blair while we have the opportunity having her here in the studio?
Well, just one quick more thing. You talk about scheduling in Instagram, and well, two things actually. For scheduling, some people use later.com or Planoly or Unhum. Like there's some platforms that exist out there where you can schedule, but then you still get a notification from your phone. Would you use this, or you would advise against completely and just doing every single thing manually?
Because you still have to go into Instagram and post. I don't know what the point of that is. Like if you need, like to me, it's kind of, there's no, like for me, scheduling is because, hey, like I'm a human and need a day off, but I need to get this post out. So if I do it that way, it's like I get a notification, I have to stop what I'm doing and post.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand what the purpose of that would be. And that's kind of one of the that you need to be live on all social media networks, engaging and posting. But it's healthy to schedule in a chunk of content as your meat and potatoes to tell your message. But you still, engaging and hopping in real time. Where Instagram, you can't do that. So if you want to schedule your post into Hootsuite and you get your notification to post it and it works for you, I don't want to discourage you from doing that. For me, I have like an alarm in my phone that goes off, says post to Instagram, and then I stop what I'm doing and I spend a chunk of time posting to my clients' Instagram accounts. And sometimes that happens 2 times a day. And, like every day is different. If my schedule is different today than tomorrow, then I pick another time that I know is right for my clients. But I just set alarms in my phone or on my computer in my calendar. But that's what works for me.
Yeah. And for most people, Blair, that are maybe watching today, they're not an agency or they're not a company like we all have, but they're individual people running a business. So they probably wouldn't be tied to their phone or having to use another network such as Hootsuite, or Catherine has one that actually posts as well. So probably it's not going to be as onerous as you or we're finding it as well.
Yeah.
That's really, can I do one?
No, and I mean,
oh, go ahead.
Catherine?
Oh, sorry. So the lady was asking us, Janet, about like Instagram and business Instagram and personal and so on. So say you decide to have your personal be your business as well. Would you set it up as a business? Even if you just have one account, would you set it up as a business so you would have special features maybe? Or
yeah, that's correct. If you're going to be only having one, if you're going to as long as you have a business Facebook page, you can set it up. And I would say, if you're choosing to have one, I would switch it to be a business page. The main difference is that you're able to track statistics.
And advertise, maybe.
Yeah,
and advertise, right. Sorry, and boost your posts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, this is really, really, really interesting. Thank you so much. We covered a bunch of things today. We covered the kind of keys behind Blair's success. We went over recommendations for businesses, and then a look at where the future is heading, and then we answered some really great questions. This video is going to be sitting on our Facebook page. So if you have any more comments or questions, you can always go back and look at it again, take notes, and comment. And then I guess I'll say a big thank you to Blair and pass the screen back to Heather to introduce next week's guest. So Blair, thank you. Thank you so much. I can't wait to go have a beer with you or go for a ride in Pemby.
Yeah, any boat, we can go for a ride and have a beer. Yes.
Yay!
Tell the people that are watching now or the people that are watching the replay, if they want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Yeah.
You can, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Blair from Blairland. But my website's blairkaplan.ca, and on there you can connect with me on social media. You can email me. I'm very good at branding, as you can see. My email Blair at Blair. Google Blair Kaplan. I look like me in all the pictures of me. So depends on your communication method of choice. And Facebook, my Facebook page is Blair Kaplan Communications. My personal one's Blair Kaplan. My hair is nice and brushed in the picture on the Facebook. You might not recognize me, but yeah. But BlairKaplan.ca. So it's BlairKaplan.ca.
And what we'll do is we'll make sure that all those links are copied and put into the show today. And Blair will also upload the show to our YouTube channel, and then we will take the show and put a little bit of money behind it to get even more exposure
awesome.
For the social chats today. It's been wonderful having you here. I've got a few good tips that I'm going to implement right away. And we look forward to seeing you around town.
It was really fun. I really had a good time.
Okay, Catherine. Well, that was really nice having Blair. I'm really enjoying some of the people that we are bringing into the studio. I have noticed that we do have some glitches today with the shooting, and I'm not sure if it's Facebook, if it's Be Live, or if it's a combination of the three of us shooting. But this is what happens with all this new technology. It is always going to be improving, but it is new. This is brand new technology when we're shooting live today. So next week, Catherine, we have a very wonderful young lady. When Catherine and I went to Social Media World in San Diego a few months ago, we did a lot of networking. And one of the young ladies that we met there really stood out. And her name was Laura Plowman. And Laura actually, she is a photographer, and she takes incredible professional photos, and her website is amazing as well. And she does vintage photos. And she is going to join us, Laura, and she's going to talk to us about the importance behind who you are and what you present to the world when they see you in a picture. Whether it's good quality or bad quality, everything you do represents you. So Laura is going to be joining us here in the studio next week. We believe it's going to be on Wednesday at 10 a.m. once again here on Social Chats. It will be episode number 9. And yeah, that's who's going to join us, Catherine. Isn't that exciting?
I can't believe it's episode number 9. This has been really great, and we have such great guests. If ever you know someone who might be a great fit for our show, feel free to message us, and maybe we'll add them on.
Yeah, we're always looking for people to be guests on our show here on Facebook. We hopefully will still be shooting with Be Live TV. We're not sure what the pricing is going to be like when it comes out next week, but it's really been a wonderful ride thus far. So next week is Laura Pearman, and she's going to be coming to us from the UK. And even though we met her in San Diego, she is from the United Kingdom, and she will be joining us here in the studio. Thank you very much for joining us. Ask your questions if you're watching the replay. We will go back in and look at them. And we thank everyone that did join us in our 30-minute show today. I hope you have a great week. And don't forget, everyone, keep it simple.
Simple.